Brexit is a controversial issue, and everyone has their own perspectives. Brexiteers will argue that 17,410,742 people voted to leave back in 2016, and we've been waiting more than 3 years for the government to deliver on the public's demands. Remainers might counter that argument by saying that more than 16 million people voted to remain in the EU, and that nearly 13 million registered voters didn't cast a ballot, so calling leave the will of the people is a little misleading. But there's more nuance than just that. It's disingenuous to act like everyone who voted leave wants the hardest form of no-deal Brexit, and it's also misleading to pretend that everyone who voted remain still wants to overturn the referendum. So in this video we're going to take a look at stats and polling to try and work out what Brits want from Brexit as we get closer to the 31st of October deadline. You probably already know that we're making pin badges. If you've been meaning to pick one up, now could be the time, because the first 10 people to use the code polling will get 10% off their order. Hit the bell icon to be here quick enough to get the code in the future. The store's linked below. So, as I just said in the introduction, a majority of people voted to leave in 2016, and according to polling, leaving is still the most popular course of action with people in the UK. 34% of people want to see the UK leave without a deal, and 6% want to leave under the terms of May's original deal. 9% of those polled want to leave the UK, but wanted an extension in order to reach a better new deal. 22% said that they wanted the UK to withdraw its Article 50 notice, and then remain within the EU. 18% favour the UK holding a second referendum, where the UK can vote again on if they want to leave and under which terms. That leaves 12% of people who are unsure of what outcome they want. You won't be surprised to hear that opinions vary significantly when you filter by how people voted back in 2016. The vast majority of those who voted to leave still want to leave, with most of them wanting to progress without a deal. The inverse is true for those who voted for Remain, with 67% of people still wanting the UK to remain within the EU. Choosing to remain at this point would be a very controversial move, as many would see that as going against the will of the people. One way some want to get around this is by calling for a second referendum. This isn't a new phenomenon, with people calling out for a second referendum pretty much ever since the first one happened. And people continue to be split about whether a second referendum would be a good idea or not. In fact, it's such a contentious issue that there's a huge difference between different polling results. A recent Kantar poll found that 53% of people supported a second referendum, far exceeding the 29% who opposed it. However, a poll by Panel Base found that 48% of people opposed it and only 41% supported. To different margins, recent polling by BMG, Delta Poll, Kantar and YouGov found that the majority of Brits supported a second referendum, while Panel Base's polling found that most people opposed it. However, when you break down the results, it seems that yet again, how people voted in 2016 makes a major difference to how they feel about a second referendum. Most polls find that more than 2/3 of Remainers support a second referendum, while less than 20% of Leavers support the move. Looking at the data, it's clear that there's no path forward that would keep everyone happy. Every route has supporters and detractors, and it's up for the government to try and work out which path is best for them, their voters, and for the country. We're interested in what you think. Comment below to let us know how you voted in 2016, how you'd like to see Brexit progress, and if you support a second referendum. While you're at it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time we release a video. And if you want more from us, you can find TLDR across all social networks simply by searching for TLDR News. And if you want your name featured at the end of the videos, just like these people, then you can sign up to back us on Patreon. There's a link to that in the description.